president's legal team. John Dowd, President Trump's lead lawyer, outside counsel representing the president in Robert Mueller's Russia investigation, has resigned. His departure marking the most prominent shakeup for the president's legal team since he took over from the president's longtime personal lawyer, Mark Kasowitz, last summer. John Dowd gave this statement to Fox, quote, "I resigned Thursday morning, and President Trump graciously accepted. The president has a terrific case and has proved it to the special counsel, Robert Mueller, and his team in spades. The statement I made last week about the special counsel ending is no different than what I have told Mueller and his investigators on multiple occasions. I am so proud of the president's transparency and how anyone could accuse him of obstruction after the president's extraordinary cooperation is beyond me. I love him and wish him well," end quote. And the president saying just moments ago, as he was leaving that diplomatic room, remember we were showing you this live, he was signing the China tariffs. He said that he would like to, and these are his words, testify before the special counsel, something he has said several times in the past. Fox News senior judicial analyst Judge Andrew Napolitano, a lot of news breaking right now. The president doubling down. Although it's not testimony, it's an interview. All the same, he says he'll sit down.
Well, there actually was a dispute amongst the president's people as to whether or not he should sit down and be interviewed by Bob Mueller. It's not only interviewed by Mueller, there are his prosecutors and his FBI agents as well. And the interview is not under oath, but it's obviously
so not testimony, but
recorded.
Interview.
Correct. So John Dowd, who has a lot of respect amongst lawyers in Washington, D.C., argued against the interview. Other lawyers on the team argued in favor of it. Now, for those of us who've been in this business for a long time, I can tell you it's a two varies, maybe three or four,
very
dangerous situation for any person to be in when you're in the crosshairs of a prosecutor, to talk to that prosecutor, particularly very skilled prosecutors and FBI agents. They may ask him about a loan from Deutsche Bank 20 years ago, which he'll say he remembers. He'll give contradictory answers today from what he said under oath in another environment that he doesn't recall, and you have a potential charge of misleading or lying.
I know you're giving kind of a what-if kind of example so we understand it on your level, but don't you give the president and his team credit to know that if you don't know something at that moment, you say you don't know it at that moment? My goodness, we've had a crisis of misrememberings all over the place in the history of government. Simply saying, I don't know that right now, let me get back to you. What's the harm in that?
The president is not a normal client. The president is the most powerful person on the planet. This particular president has one of the strongest personalities and highest levels of self-confidence of any human being I've ever met. This president, if told not to say something that he wants to say, will probably say it anyway. And this president doesn't always use, I'm being diplomatic now, an economy of words. That recipe is a field day for prosecutors and FBI agents that would like to trip him up. Nothing good can come from Donald Trump trying to persuade Bob Mueller not to charge him with anything. Let the lawyers do the talking and the negotiating.
What about the shakeup in counsel? And you know, we talked about on Outnumbered, did he quit, was he fired? Well, I think it's all the same if he was close to the door.
Agreed. Now, I am a big fan of Joe DeGenova. This is the lawyer that was brought on earlier in the week as a surprise to John Dowd. So that's strike number one. Strike number two is the disagreement within the team about how cooperative the team should be with Bob Mueller. John Dowd arguing in favor of a lot of cooperation. Here's what Joe DeGenova confronts. Bob Mueller has over 100,000 documents that the president's legal team has surrendered. Joe DeGenova must familiarize himself with every one of those documents, a learning curve that can't be done overnight. I know Joe. He's going to look at many of those documents and say, what the heck did you surrender this for? Well, it's too late. We already gave it. What does this mean? What does that mean? Well, only the president means it. Well, I need the president to explain this to me. Well, he's on the phone with Vladimir Putin. This is not a normal lawyer-client relationship. But that guy, Joe DeGenova, who is the attack dog that Donald Trump needs, has to learn everything about the case in a very short period of time.
All right. Talk to me about everything, though, that's going on around this. I mean, this isn't the only thing that the president legally is dealing with right now. Does it help to have a team that's on your side? I mean, If you have to lean it down and pull people on who are on the same page with you and the rest of the team, doesn't that help you?
All right, so the president has many teams of lawyers. He has a team led by Don McGahn. That's the White House legal counsel. Don McGahn is, in my view, quite correct to argue, let's not give the special counsel anything. He's got a team formerly headed by John Dowd, once headed by Mark Kasowitz, now headed by Joe DeGenova. We don't know which way they're going to go, but I suggest they're going to resist. Then he's got 3 pieces of litigation coming at him involving 3 women who claim they've had relationships with him, one of whom has already given what is purported to be an incendiary interview to 60 Minutes that we're all going to hear on Monday night. One of them just won a motion downtown here in New York City to take the president's deposition. That is, to put him under oath and question him about his relationship, his intimate sexual relationship with this lady 12 years ago. This is not good for all this to happen to the president while he's talking to Putin and signing tariffs on China and negotiating spending with the Congress.
It doesn't show that he can get the job done no matter what is going on around him.
He can keep many balls in the air, but he is human, and this is almost being under siege.
So this is why I come back to the case that you just laid out, and you are a judge, and so you do that so well. This is why I come back to, wouldn't you rather have a team of people that see it at least the same way amongst themselves and can put a case together, if not only see it the way you do, too?
This is the uniqueness of Donald Trump, who has said privately and publicly he likes his advisors to disagree. He likes advice as to why I should do this and should not do it, and then he makes the decision. Lawyers don't...
Yeah, but he's not an attorney.
Right.
So maybe legal
Lawyers don't like it when the client makes the decision because the client cannot know as much about the case as they do.
Well, they are being paid.
These are very exciting times, Harris.
Oh, Judge Naps, I could go back and forth with you all day.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much. A lot to chew on here.